Okay, so I'm making this video basically to ask for support from fellow members or even those who aren't members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. As I have another video up on here. I really haven't looked at them that much. I know I've talked about wanting to learn more about the church and have anyone ask questions about the church, and I can do some research, and that'll get me into reading more about the history of the church and more into the doctrine and things like that. But of course, I'm a procrastinator, and when I start things, I end up falling off of that wagon and not really doing them. And unfortunately, I haven't kept up with like scripture reading and like personal prayer and things like that, like we really should. And of course, that makes me feel guilty all the time. I know our church doesn't really push you down when you're not doing the right thing. They just say, get back on track and pray and read your scriptures and feel better and have support systems and all that. But I live in a community that's pretty small, and some people are really good about supporting and giving encouragement and things like that, and others don't really show that support and encouragement and things like that. And I'm someone that needs other people to push me and support me to do whatever it is I'm working toward. And I know there are so many things that I do throughout the day that I could substitute for reading some scripture or some history about the church or doing personal prayer and things like that. Watching general conferences. I work night shift, so I pretty much use that as an excuse because I work every weekend, and I haven't been to Sacrament in a while, and there's really no excuse for that. But the reason I keep saying that I don't go to Sacrament is because I get off work about 7 o'clock in the morning. I drive 35 minutes home. Of course, while I get off work at 7 o'clock in the morning is kind of, I don't know, a misstatement, if that's a word or a term. But then that's technically what time I'm supposed to get off. But I actually get off about 7:30, 7:45, and I get home around 8:15, 8:30, and church starts about 9:30. And so I've been up since the previous day, and I tend to about doze off and all when we're in Sacrament. Not that it isn't interesting, but my mind is just so tired, and my eyes are tired, my body's tired, and it's hard to push through that and all. And my children do want to do prayer all the time, and both of them, sometimes they will argue back and forth, and they want to say prayer for dinner or lunch or whatever meal or for bedtime, and usually I'll just say you can both say it, just one after another. So there are some things that I'm somewhat doing right, but I am not the LDS member to follow as far as example, because I don't set a very good example. I don't curse, and I don't drink alcohol and smoke and all that sort of stuff. I don't do those things, but I have other things that I do that I should not do. And that's just something that I need to work on personally. But I don't have any friends, really, that I call like real friends. I have acquaintances and people from my professional life and people from my personal life. And I don't have anyone that I call up and say, hey, how's it going? What have you been into? How are things? Do you want to go and go bowling or hang out or whatever? Do you want to come over and, I don't know, play cornhole? I don't have anyone that I do that with anymore, and I haven't for quite a few years. So not having friends like that you just talk to about whatever, because you're into the same things or similar things or whatever, you have common interests, and that makes it more difficult when you don't have friends to do social things with, and you don't have real friends as opposed to acquaintances in church. And since I live in such a small community and there is such a disparity in the age range in my It's not even a ward. It's a branch. So we have a branch president. We don't have a bishop. Things like that. It just makes it really hard whenever it's a small community like that, and a lot of them aren't really into activities and things that they are in larger areas with many more members that are active and participating in a lot of events. So I was laying in bed because I just got off work this morning, and I've been up, and it's like 9:30 now, and I have to get up again later to get my kids and take them to their family that's going to watch them when I go back to work. My wife, she'll get off work tonight after I'm already at work. But I was laying in bed and I was thinking about this and how I know I need to be pushed. I know I need support system. It's not like my wife and my children aren't there and don't work with that, but I need like peers as well. Because my wife, she is a peer in some instances, because she's around my same age and all, and we've been together for quite a while. But I need other people who are not family, other people who are members who can empathize, and other people who just have good intentions. It's not for any personal gain or anything else, but it's just because. So if you all could leave some comments below, whether it's encouragement or a challenge or things like that. I like challenges, to challenge myself and push myself to do things to see if I can do it, and then make things into a habit and keep that habit going. And then I'd also like to make more videos for this channel, Mormonology, because I need to study the church and the history and the scriptures and the doctrine and more of our beliefs and the in-depth aspects of our church. Just because I need to be more knowledgeable about it, and I need to know it for myself. It's not like I don't believe in the church or any of the prophets or anything like that we've had or that we have now. It's just I need to do the right thing more often and on a consistent basis. So I'd like to do more videos on this channel, and maybe someone will stumble upon these videos and they'll learn something that they didn't know before, whether it's members or non-members, investigators or whomever. But I would ask that if you do not like my beliefs, my church, just don't say anything negative in the comments below. You can have your opinions, and that's okay, and I'll have mine, and if we argue about them, nobody's going to change their mind anyways. We have to change our own mind. Yeah, so that's what I'm asking for. A little bit of support, a challenge, people to subscribe and show me that you're willing to watch my progression and challenge me, and for me to challenge you, and to have kind of like a back and forth relationship on this thing called the internet and YouTube, and you can see my face and I can see your typing. Yeah, so that's that. Let me know. I check the comments and things fairly often. I get emails whenever there are new comments and things like that. So if you have friends in the church and you're members of the church or not, you can pass this video on to them and ask them to show their support and to subscribe and watch my videos and watch my progression and ask me questions and challenge me, and I can return the favor and give some kind of support from where I live to wherever it is you live, whether it's somewhere else in the world or somewhere else within the United States. I'm gonna let you. I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna upload this real quick, and then hopefully you've watched this far. But like I said, comments below. I'll be checking.